Player only reactions, man. Welcome back to the channel. First things first, free smirk. You know what I'm saying? Free Durk, yo. Like, drop a comment down below right now. You feel me? I'll be telling y'all to drop a comment. Y'all be listening. Drop a comment right now and just drop free smirk. Free little Durk. You dig what I'm saying? Somebody told on my brother, man. You dig what I'm saying? And telling is never a good thing. So even if you're a citizen, you're not in the streets, anything like that, don't be tattletale. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Mind your business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't really want to dive too deep into that because everybody got their own opinions, but you dig what I'm saying? Mind your business. You dig? Free little Durk, we finna get straight into the case, why he got arrested and stuff like that. Get some information on that. I'm gonna get my reaction on the case and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a hot topic right now, so of course I gotta do it, gotta get my reaction to it for y'all. So we finna get straight into the thing, man. Make sure you like and comment on this video, subscribe to the channel if this is your first time watching me. I highly appreciate it. Let's get straight into the reaction.
A popular rap artist is behind bars after a shocking arrest, as authorities accuse him of being connected to.
This nigga looks sick. His eyes look like he killed niggas. He got them motherfucking eyes on a nigga, boy. A nigga with eyes like this look like he'll pop the shit out you.
An alleged murder for hire plot. Chicago rapper Durk Banks, better known by his stage name Lil Durk, was arrested yesterday after allegedly attempting to flee the country, and at this time he's being held in a Broward County jail in Florida, awaiting transfer to the U.S. Marshals. According to the FBI affidavit, the Grammy Award-winning rapper is charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire. His arrest comes on the same day as federal prosecutors announced in California the charges of 5 other men for the attempted murder of Georgia rapper Quando Rondo, whose real name is Taquan Bowman. Prosecutors say those 5 men all have ties to Chicago gangs and all targeted the Georgia rapper in retaliation for the murder of Chicago rapper King Von. According to
See, another thing about like the feds, they don't when they build a case up on you and they come get you, that mean they got something. You dig what I'm saying? Like the U.S. Marshals and federal cases and shit like that. They when they build a case up on you, that mean they got something. You know what I'm saying? They ain't just doing it to do it. They ain't just grabbing you and releasing you. Now, you know what I'm saying? There's certain instances where you may, get wiggle out the situation, but for most of the part, it'd be like, it be looking ugly. Basically, what they saying because they, you feel me? King Von beat up on Lil Tim, who was it? Or he was beating up on Quando. He was beating up on somebody, and he popped the other dude. Blah blah blah. And they saying kill bruh for retaliation to King Von.
prosecutors, all 5 men, who include Kevon London Grant, aka Vonnie, Asa Houston, aka Boogie, David Brian Lindsay, aka Brown Eyes, Keith Jones, aka Flocka, and DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, aka Didi. They all face charges including conspiracy to commit murder for hire, committing murder for hire involving death, and use of a machine gun in a violent crime resulting in death. And the most serious charge carries up to the death penalty if convicted. According to prosecutors, all 5 men have ties to Lil Durk's hip-hop group Only the Family, also known as OTF. OTF was founded by Lil Durk more than a decade ago. And according to the FBI, OTF members engage in violence, including murder and assault, at the direction of Lil Durk and to maintain their status in OTF. King Von, whose real name was Davon Bennett, was also a part of OTF and frequently collaborated with and was a longtime friend of Lil Durk. King Von was shot and killed in November of 2020.
It's funny how they be talk about shit. There was a long time friend of Little Durk.
Outside a nightclub in Atlanta. He was killed in the early morning hours of November 6 during an argument between 2 groups that escalated into gunfire. And he was fatally shot by Quando's associate Lil Tim after the argument. The indictment doesn't name Davon Bennett, aka King Von. Instead, the charging documents state a high-ranking OTF member described by the initials DB got into a physical altercation with someone referred to as TB, and the circumstances surrounding that incident mirror King Von's murder. The indictment says after DB's death, co-conspirator 1 made clear in coded language that they would pay a bounty or monetary reward to anyone who took part in killing TB for his role in DB's murder. That co-conspirator is allegedly...
How do they be like, all right, so when somebody do this, like, are they saying that it was a message that was decoded that, like, you feel me, like, they sent that out? Because why don't people just have these conversations, like, in person, like, I'm pretty sure he's smarter than that, though, to just send out a message saying, anybody go kill dude, I got this for y'all. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? When you could really just have a conversation in person, like get everybody together. Hey, man, we need to, you know what I'm saying? We need to take care of Buddy. We need to take care of them over there. So whoever, you know You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then have somebody else say it. I don't know.
Lil Durk, who authorities say made it known he would pay a bounty to anyone who killed Quando Rondo. According to the court documents, the men used an OTF associated credit card to buy plane tickets to LA in August of 2022 to search for TB, who is allegedly Quando
They
Rondo,
was searching
and
for
using
him.
funds provided by Lil Durk. Durk allegedly texted an associate arranging the flight, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." And prosecutors claim when there, Kevon Grant booked a hotel room for the men to stay at and provided the others with firearms. Grant allegedly procured cars, ski masks, and firearms that were used to find, track, and kill TB. According to the FBI, there is video evidence that Durk was staying at the house in the San Fernando Valley that day. A lot of the stories that we cover here at Law and Crime are very tough to tell. But part of the reason we're able to keep bringing you these types of stories is because of our great sponsors. So I want to take a moment to thank Upside for
Man,
sponsoring
we
us.
don't give
And
a
I can get
fuck.
try it into your bag.
Get back to the
You can
story.
so with the link code else again. That's license plate for the indictment. Kevon Grant allegedly rented 2 cars, one of which had a fake license plate for the men to use and follow Rondo and his 24-year-old cousin. But when Rondo and his cousin stopped for gas, according to prosecutors, Asa Houston allegedly drove to a nearby alley before Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, and a third unidentified man known in the indictment as co-conspirator 2 carried out the shooting, which was captured on surveillance video. Rondo wasn't injured. However, his cousin passed away after being fatally wounded. According to court documents, the 5 men and co-conspirators used facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, such as planes, cars, cell phones, and the internet with intent that the murder of TB be committed. After the shooting, according to the indictment, the men went to a nearby burger spot to discuss payment. Then on the same day, the credit card was used to purchase tickets for Keith Jones, David Brian Lindsay, Asa Houston, DeAndre Wilson, and co-conspirator 2 to travel back to Chicago. Lil Durk wasn't named in the charging documents against Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston. But according to the indictment, the defendants were offered money and lucrative music opportunities with OTF for the murder of Quando Rondo. Prior to Lil Durk's arrest,
Man, they breaking down hell shit. I don't know. Like, it sound like it makes sense, but it'd be like, I don't be, you know what I'm saying? Because if they saying it's the OTF credit card, he the head of OTF, so they gonna tie everything back to him. So, yeah, dude, it's looking ugly though. I don't know.
the Chicago rapper was being sued by the mother of Chicago drill rapper FBG Duck. FBG Duck was murdered in 2020, and his death led to several convictions in a federal conspiracy trial last January. But his mother sued Lil Durk, OTF, and King Von's estate, alleging they were all involved in the shooting as well. According to the suit, OTF operates as a criminal enterprise. After Grant, Jones, Lindsay, Wilson, and Houston were arrested Thursday, the FBI says Durk booked 2 flights.
This didn't sound like the same thing happened to Young Thug though, except for, you know what I'm saying, like the little Rico case, they get niggas together, murder for a hire. They saying like it's not a rap group, it's a criminal enterprise and shit like that.
From South Florida airports, one to Dubai and one to Switzerland. He then reportedly booked a flight to Italy, but was arrested in Miami before he could board that flight. Lil Durk and the other defendants are being held pending their transfer back to LA. I want to bring on now Detective Eric Barnes to break down this case even further. Eric, thank you so much for joining me.
Bro, this nigga dumbass ugly. What the fuck? I thought he had straight hair going back. Them dreads. Oh, gee, you dumb spanked. Egghead ass nigga.
Today, you know, Lil Durk is a really popular rapper, but what's your reaction to his arrest and his alleged connection to this murder for hire plot of Georgia rapper Quando Rondo?
Well, you know, it's a very interesting case. I've been following it for some time now, but it's very representative of things that are going on within the hip hop community these days. One foot in the studio, one foot in the streets.
And talk to me a little bit about retaliation within gang culture, maybe even hip hop culture as well, too, that we can even trace back these events in particular, kind of in a way, starting from King Von's death in Georgia in 2020, and 2 years later, Quando Rondo's attempted murder, where his cousin was actually killed during this ambush. What is your kind of reaction to just this whole web and trail that has been going on essentially since 2020, even probably prior to that, too?
Well, one of the things that's been popular with hip hop artists is to maintain the same group of friends that they had since they were kids, maintaining that loyalty, not changing up, and becoming a new person because you have fame. And so, in keeping these alliances, sometimes there's beef that follows from the streets into rap, and like I said, these guys live, day to day, and their alliances also live that same lifestyle.
And, reading through this indictment, there appears to be this really heavy level of planning to allegedly carry out this murder. Plane tickets were bought, cars were rented, ski masks and firearms were bought. Talk to me a little bit about the sophistication you may have noticed within the planning and these allegations.
Well, one of the things that you have to the hurdles, so to say, that you have to get over in this case is just the geographic difficulties going from Chicago to California to commit this offense. And so there's only a couple ways you can get there. Either you can drive or you can fly. And obviously the advantage of flying gives you more of a time advantage. You can get there faster, but you
Yeah, but I mean, unless all right, so say some niggas was in LA and I'm in Chicago. And you know they there ahead of time, you could have just made some niggas pay for a train ticket in cash and just go out there like that. Boom. If you could take a train, I'm pretty sure you could, or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's something you could have did in cash. You know what I'm saying? Or drove all the way there. You feel me? In the back, if somebody has somebody hire somebody to drive you there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So it's no. What's the name? Paper trail. You know what I mean? I don't know though. Unless they was like last minute, like they got the ups on him, like, oh yeah, we know Quando, and there we got to get out there right now. And how do bring the niggas out there? So we got to get them a plane ticket. But why didn't you just get the plane ticket in bitches' names or something, like, you know what I mean? Like in a female name or like a little cousin name.
also leave an electronic footprint. And that's what it seems like law enforcement was able to pick up on, was the electronic footprints that were left from purchasing the
Plane
tickets. Now,
tickets,
when you
yeah,
fly, you also have to have transportation on the ground. So you have
yeah.
rental cars. And if you're there for an extended period of
You
time,
got it.
that also leads
Hotels.
to maybe a hotel stay.
As we
This
talk
is
about this
dumb.
level of
You better
planning, it
thug it.
also
Go get a.
appears there was
You better thug it. Go get a motel. Y'all out there to pop somebody. Y'all need no. You know what I'm saying? You better get grimy with it.
There's also this element of not so great planning if you didn't want to be caught. And some of the five defendants actually used their real names, their birth dates, and photo IDs to book this travel. And then one of the co-conspirators actually texted another co-conspirator saying, don't book no flights under no names involved with me." What's your reaction to kind of just doing this allegedly and using your real name, your real ID, but also kind of wanting to keep this on the down low as well too, of not wanting to get caught?
Well, I think that when I read over that, I was kind of surprised by that, with how you know unhidden that was. But I think also it plays to the element of what their motivation was, and it seemed that as there was some discussion of payment, and so sometimes individuals are so intrigued by being able to get their hands on whatever this payment is that they overlook small details, and leaving your name on a receipt or on a reservation is one of those things that they missed.
When we see kind of these types of cases, a lot of times I think some
Yeah, why would he say don't book no flights with no? Yeah, he's supposed to have somebody else have these whole conversations. So I could be like, bro, I don't know what them niggas talk about. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
times the defendants are allegedly always kind of wanting one specific target, but then there are some cases where someone else is hurt or killed, kind of in this focus of retaliation. What are your thoughts given that Quando Rondo's cousin was actually killed when the murder was allegedly plotted for him?
I think it's always unfortunate that innocent people get caught in the line of fire. It's something that we deal with often within street violence. But I also think within the streets, there's also a mentality when there's a retaliation and gang culture that if you get caught riding with someone that I have beef with, then it just kind of, it's the rules of the streets. Like you put yourself in that
Are they using that old ass picture of Quando Rondo? Niggas don't got no updated pictures of these niggas.
situation, and now you have to unfortunately read the circumstances of it.
And there's also been rumors circulating online that there might have been an informant or even a snitch within OTF that may have revealed more to the feds. Do you think that's at all possible in this case, that they needed an informant on the inside to kind of give a scoop into kind of how everything was planned out and kind of how everything kind of came to fruition?
Well, I know that there was very detailed information, and it definitely indicates that the investigators did a great job digging up surveillance footage and being able to uncover some of the
Niggas was trying to get busy. I ain't gonna lie, them niggas was trying to get busy. You got the stick on that motherfucker, skied up. He's sitting there two-handed that motherfucker trying to get busy.
intimate details. I don't know if there was an informant necessarily, but it seems that they do have some very personal details in their indictment.
And given if there was possibly an informant, kind of how do they all play a role into this case? Because again, within the culture, a lot of times there is a no snitching policy. But what are your thoughts on whether or not there might have been an informant and kind of how that may have all came into this as well too?
Well, you know, the no snitching thing is very huge in the street and within the hip hop culture. But one thing that within the law enforcement community, when someone is looking at a significant sentence, which I think murder for hire either carries in some sort of situations, death penalty, and also life in prison. You know,
they ain't gonna give that nigga a death penalty. They'll give him probably life or some years. They ain't gonna kill that nigga though. They ain't gonna give that nigga the death penalty. That'll shock the world. You know what I'm saying? That'd be too shocking because he's a rapper. So they could just get that nigga life or something.
Every man for himself at that moment. And so the old cliche of the first one to talk gets the best deal. Normally that weighs very heavily in these cases.
Some of the defendants, in addition to being offered money, were also promised lucrative music.
That's why you can't do criminal activity. Because as soon as you do that, say you do so for 5 days, they gonna get the first one and be like, all right, bro, we damn near got the other niggas. You just give up, blah, 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 blah. You gonna do a year. We'll protect you. We'll put you here. And niggas be thinking, like, okay, do a year. Different jail. Okay. Get out. They gonna move me here probably. You know what I'm saying? I can live my life and not have to do 15 to 20, 25. Niggas be telling on that. Why? That's what I'm saying. Just don't do crimes. You don't gotta tell nobody you don't do no crime, gang. You know what I mean? It's okay to not do criminal activity, but if you do criminal activity, why are you telling other people? You volunteering yourself to sign up to do illegal activities, and then you still telling somebody else. It's the wildest shit ever. It's wild.
Opportunities if they carried out this murder. And I know we've kind of been having a discussion about, you know, how rap culture kind of bleeds into gang culture. But what's your reaction to kind of this lucrative opportunity?
Damn, I wonder what happened to all this nigga jewelry and shit, like the jewelry, the money, the clothes, the shoes, like all the tight shit. I be wondering why would this shit just sit there and nigga sell it, nigga homies come get it. I don't know.
Opportunity given they carry out this bounty.
Well, you know, it's the American dream of wanting to be able to create a better opportunity for yourself and your family. And unfortunately, a lot of individuals have, you know, the dream of making it in the rap business, and you're just not given the opportunity. So that is something that is going to be very alluring to a lot of individuals because they not only want to be able to have the rap contract, but also the rap lifestyle, you know, and some people are willing to do whatever it takes to get that.
And sometimes when we see these cases, especially gang cases that are also kind of double as like hip hop cases, you know, YNW Melly, this case with Lil Durk, even YSL, I can't help but notice just how young some of the defendants are and some of the alleged activities that they're being accused of doing. They're so young, you know, in their 20s, probably
young niggas is thugging. Niggas getting to it. No, I'm just playing.
Started maybe when they were teenagers. But what are your thoughts on just how young some of these defendants are when they're kind of coming up, like you had just mentioned, wanting this American dream, but then at the same time having this kind of tie to the street culture where maybe they don't see the actual consequences of what could happen. Either they go to jail or they may end up dead on the street. What are your thoughts on just that whole layer and aspect of it?
Well, you know, I think one of the things that weighs heavily on this, the influence, is the fact that, you know, a guy that you may have grown up with, seen around the neighborhood, now he has his lucrative rap contract and is driving, you know, foreign cars and living in expensive houses and traveling, you know, all across the country. They almost become larger than life. And so when you have a young individual that maybe hasn't had the best role models in life, what they're able to see this individual achieve is going to be larger than any kind of verbal warning that someone can tell them. They're going to
Real
take their
shit.
word as
Real shit though. Like you can give a kid a warning and tell him all the nah, don't do this, don't do that. But when you go outside and you seeing somebody that you know is around the same age as you, that's you feel me, getting to it, it's like you tempted though, cause it's like, ooh, I want the same shit as this nigga. I want to be as fly as this nigga. I want the bitches. I want the car. You know what I'm saying? It's very tempting for a teenager or a kid to go like you raised in your house. You is raised by their grannies, their aunties, their moms, some type of woman figure that's telling you like, don't get in trouble, don't do this and that, don't do this and that. But you go outside and you get influenced by the gang culture, the money hustles. You know what I'm saying? Bitches. You know what I'm saying? You get influenced by all these types of things, and it's like that temptation is a motherfucker. It takes a strong man, a strong kid that is determined to whatever he want to do to not go with them temptations. So, and a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? It's easier. It's very easier said than done. Definitely, I should say. Like just telling somebody don't do this and that, and you're not understanding the temptations, especially if this kid got holes in the shoes or this kid is kind of sick in the head. Like you know what I'm saying? It's easier said than done.
being, good. If I can carry out what is being asked of me, then maybe I can live this lifestyle as well. And I think that
Sure.
that reality weighs heavier than any consequence that you can think of.
And as someone who is a detective who works with street gangs, kind of what are you hearing from the inside that you'd be willing to talk about on camera as far as, maybe just what the motivation is to kind of continue to be a part of this lifestyle?
Well, obviously the what everyone is doing right now across social media as well as the streets and within the street culture is they're kind of unpacking this indictment. They're trying to breaking it down line by line, trying to piece things together, figure out if there is an informant, also figuring out if this was something that was carried out on behalf of King Von, and just connecting the dots on, their from their levels. But I think that what factors into that is the theory that, nobody plans to get caught. The plan is we're going to do it. We're going to get away with it. And we're
Nah, for
looking
sure.
100
That's real
yards
shit.
down the field
Niggas
instead
for
of
sure
seeing what's
don't
going
plan to
on
get
right
caught.
now. And the factor of getting caught.
I ain't gonna lie, niggas do not plan to get caught and then get caught. It's not funny, but it's just like, damn, like you do hella plotting and planning and masterminding and then get caught. Fuck, bro, the police is some smart ass niggas, boy. I tell you, or niggas is just dumb. Just take your pick. Say the police hella smart or niggas just dumb. I don't know. Take your pick.
Now being named in a federal indictment, that part is not really thought of too heavily because, again, nobody factors in that I am going to get caught for this.
Nah,
And kind
for
of going
sure.
back to the little Durk aspect of it
Shit,
as
I
well
would.
too, he was again a very popular rap artist. He had a lot of popular songs, and a lot of fans did look up to him.
Damn, they
But
talk
it
about
seems,
looked up,
though, as we
was,
don't know
and
at
hella
this
shit. Like he
particular
gone.
point, but it seems though a lot of people may be alleging he's kind of the kingpin in a way of the OTF, and that
Damn, they done got Diddy, R. Kelly, Young Thug, Durk, King Von died. Like, I know it's separate instances, but I'm just thinking like, damn, black culture is getting fucked right now. It's literally getting fucked. Like, feel me? I'm thinking like, ain't no white people going to jail, no white big artists. They ain't doing no. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. It's like lately it's just been all black people. Like first R. Kelly, then they made all these documentaries. Then P Diddy, they ain't made all these documentaries, and he ain't got sent to shit. Now Lil Durk, they gonna make a documentary about my nigga Lil Durk. It's crazy, bro.
he is a someone who carries out these plots, essentially, kind of running a criminal enterprise. What are your thoughts on just kind of how
This nigga really
people
hella
allege
ugly,
these
bro.
popular rap artists are these kingpins in a way of criminal street gangs?
He probably married
Well,
him.
I think with this case, it's going to be very interesting in how it plays out. But we're going to really get into the basics of rap being entertainment or rappers really living what they rap about. And I think there's definitely something that's a hurdle the investigators are going to have to get over with just proving that this little Dirk's role in OTF wasn't merely entertainment, that he actually had a role within the street culture of OTF.
And do you see
And
any
that's
other?
what I think that's what it really come down to. You know what I'm saying? To prove you feel me, had a role in it. His lawyer's gonna have to prove that he didn't. or that's not enough sufficient evidence and this and that, this and that. So hopefully, man, he beat that, man.
Hurdles that investigators may come to find when they're kind of going through
This
this
bitch
case.
wig right here is irritating as shit.
Well, anytime that you're dealing with multiple people with inside, in an indictment, co-conspirators, what's people's roles kind of change, and then there's money as well involved with some of the people that were discussed in this case. So it's also heavily influenced by the street life and culture, gang life and culture. And so what they have today may change, and hopefully on the investigators' end, what you see in that indictment would only kind of snowball and grow larger. Maybe they're able to develop more evidence and convert some of these co-conspirators into witnesses for the government.
All right,
Damn,
Detective
for the
Eric Barnes, I
government,
appreciate
man.
so much your insight into this case. Before I sign you off,
Pretty
is there
smart.
anything else you'd like to add about just where the case goes from here?
Hell nah, nigga.
No, I think from what we see in this indictment that the investigators did a very, very solid job investigating this case, and kudos to them.
All right, Detective
My
Eric
nigga
Barnes,
said
again,
kudos
thank you
to
so
them.
much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
You'll never find a hairline like mine. Nigga said, I bet when you salute like this. Yes, sir. That nigga shit is pushed. It's not even pushed, it's just gone.
Thank you.
According to reports, Jones and Houston have a scheduled hearing in Chicago on Monday. However, Grant, Wilson, and Lindsay have reportedly waived their right to a hearing and will instead be sent to Los Angeles. Reporting for Law and Crime, I'm Elizabeth Milner.
Yeah, man. Pretty smart. Let me know what y'all think about in the comments. You dig what I'm saying? We finna knock out some other reactions. I kind of gave everything I want to say throughout the video. So, you know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Yeah, it's 11:45 p.m. You dig what I'm saying? Gonna knock out probably get a total of 3 to 4 reactions tonight. That was the first one. So make sure y'all check out the other ones. After y'all watch this, for sure. Let me know. Let me know what y'all think about in the comments. I really am interested to know what y'all think about this case. Is this cookies for my brother? Is it cookies for Schmirk? You know what I'm saying? What he said. Baby mama realer than some day ones. I got a stash of drugs whenever they come. I made this and what you want inside the basement. I stayed in line inside the trenches. Yeah, I made it. What's the name would have been around, but he hated. I fell off on my side and they ain't it. Look at me now. I'm shitting in their faces. Yeah, that's that Durk, bro. He be tripping. But check y'all the next reaction, man. Go.